Hi, gorgeous. This is episode number 239. You are listening to Heart Sells Podcast. I'm your host, Christine Schlonsky, and it is Variety Friday. So welcome, and thank you so much for being here, for tuning in. It has been such a week this week. I have been on an emotional roller coaster, and you probably too. And so I thought, what can I share with you today, right? Variety Fridays are here to, share my knowledge of over a decade in high-ticket event sales, over the phone and in person, and also the entrepreneurial journey that I am on, so you can learn and be inspired. And I help people to redefine sales. So I help them from feeling like sales is something, icky, sleazy, pushy, and just never will feel good, to actually selling with ease, grace, confidence, asking your price, being authentic and true to your values while having fun conversations instead of sales conversations. And when we have conversations, obviously we have them with our hopefully soulmate clients, and you're really, really clear on your niche, who you are serving, what you are doing, so that you know the amazing value you provide. And I also share resources on Variety Fridays or answer your questions. And one of my amazing listeners is actually June. Thank you so much, June, for always giving such great feedback, for posting questions, for cheering me on my journey. And you are an inspiration for me. And I just wanted to give you the shout out and say thank you so much, June Chang, for tuning in and for listening and for sharing so much of your beautiful self with the world. So June was wondering what I do to be connected to the inner best self and to build the positive and optimistic mindset during the course of the day. And what I do that the mindset is so strong that, I can sustain hope, peace, joy, and love. And right now, to be really honest, it's not that easy because, I'm sad. I feel uncertainty. I feel like disbelief, like, is this really a thing? I mean, is this something that can happen in the world? And, everybody is starting conversations all over the world. And I feel hope just seeing people being peaceful, having conversations. I see my colleagues having conversations with their clients. I have conversations with my clients. And just by opening up and not judging, it is really, really, really empowering. So I'm going to give you 3 tools you can use if you wanted to. I'm using them to make sure you are showing up as your best self. Well, one of my favorite tools is obviously journaling. I've talked about it quite a bit. So when you sit down and you really, really are honest and truthful with yourself, right? Nobody's going to read your journal if you don't give it to people. So just having that honest conversation with yourself. And I feel right now, using the I am statements are really, really empowering. Because if you want to show love, if you want to show light, if you want to show joy, peace to others, you have to feel that yourself. And it all always starts with us, right? So when we turn inside and we actually have a look, like, how do you want to feel? Because hurt people, and happy people make people happy. So how do you want to feel? What do you want to give to the world today, right? Don't make it a 5-year plan. Like, what is it today? And then you can repeat the process during the day whenever something happens that, takes you off course. So just writing I am statements, because when you know you are perfect, you are gorgeous, you are wonderful, you are loved, you are worth it. You don't need validation from without, you have it within. That is where things change, and you can start with writing I am statements. For example, I often write I am love. Not I am loved, or, I want to give love, or I want to share love. It's like, no, I am love, right? From like the 100% of everyone's soul is actually love. So how can I tune into that strong emotion and vibration of love? When you say I am love and you start to believe it, that is when things will change, because nobody can love you in a way that you do not give it to yourself. So when you love yourself first, you give other people the permission to do that too. So really tuning into love. And you can also say, well, I am confidence. I am strength. I am health. Like whatever you want to experience, just write that down over and over and over again and feel it while you write it down. So I am statements are really, really powerful for me. And then with those I am statements, I am always setting an intention for the day. So how do I want to feel today? And even the more and better question is, how do I want to make people feel during my day? And my intention is always that everyone who interacts will be with me, will be better off, right? So I'm always looking for that way, for that angle, like putting a smile on someone's face, or, just listening to what they have to say, to their story without judging, holding a space, maybe sharing an idea, maybe telling them a joke, like something that uplifts them, something that, they feel better off after our conversation or after the interaction than they have been before. And my intention is to do that with everything I do, with a podcast where, you are listening and I don't really know your response. But with my copy, with my blogs, with everything I put out, I want for people to feel better than they have felt before they interacted in some way, shape, or form. So journaling is a really big one. Then also meditating. And by meditating, for me, it doesn't work that, I'm not thinking, or that it's just, my mind is totally still. That never works out. So I've given up on that idea of meditation, but just sitting with myself and feeling myself and being grateful that I am here, that I exist. And, just feeling my body and feeling the emotions, like what's going on right now. Maybe you're really worried right now, what's going on in the world. Maybe one of your prospects has just given you a no on your amazing services. Maybe a client that you dearly love has some complaint and you're worried how to deal with it, right? So whatever it is, whatever the emotions are that are coming up, accepting them, that they exist, not suppressing them or repressing them, but allowing them to wash over you. So if you feel sad right now, well, allow that sadness to wash over you. Allow the anger, if you're feeling angry, to wash over you. Just feel the emotion. Don't suppress it. And then also, after a while, decide on a new emotion, because this emotion is not going to uplift you. This emotion, if it's negative, is probably not putting you in a vibration where you can serve, where you can show up as your best self. So make a new decision, right? Sometimes I just feel sad, and then, I sit and I think like, well, that sucks. I feel sad. And I allow myself to feel sad. And sometimes I can't figure out the reason. But I allow myself to feel that feeling. And from there, then I move on, asking myself, well, how would I love to feel instead? Well, obviously, I want to feel peaceful, and I want to feel bliss, and I want to be in flow. So I go back to those I am statements. I am love, right? And then what your mind can't hold two thoughts at the same time. So if you're thinking like I am love, well, you cannot really think like I'm sad or I feel sad, right? So you can really shift that emotion, but feel it first, let it wash over you, and then decide that, okay, enough is enough, right? I want to move on. And then put yourself into that beautiful space. And you can do that any time of the day, whenever you feel like there's something off, you're not in alignment with your higher self, with who you really are, you don't feel the love at the moment, then you just tune in and you meditate, or, you take out a piece of paper and write down some I am statements. And if it's something that is really, really deep in your core that you might be schlepping around since years or generations, and it's really heavy and it's maybe a traumatic experience, you can actually go and look on YouTube for tapping videos. There is a lot of support where tapping really releases these negative emotions in your cells, in your body, and you can actually then move on. It's not like whatever happens, you will forget that, but you can experience it in a different way, with calm, with peace, maybe even with compassion, and you can let go of these trapped emotions in your body. And there's especially one technique that I have learned a while ago, which I found really, really supportive, especially for situations that are a little bit traumatic, or, well, not a little bit, like that are traumatic, and it's called the trauma tapping technique. You can look that up on YouTube. It's by a lady called Gunilla Hamne. And she's from Sweden, I believe, and she has developed this technique. It's for the peaceful heart. And I think that will really, really support you no matter how strong your emotions are. There are other techniques, but that basically will really, really support you. So just look it up on YouTube. And then whenever you feel anxiety, whenever you feel sad or you feel anger or something that's really in your way of moving forward, of healing whatever needs to be healed, then this technique will really, really support you. So look up the trauma tapping technique and just, give it a try. You have nothing to lose. So these are the 3 things that I do to really move forward, to stay centered, to stay with the person that I want to be and how I want to show up in the world. And that will also help you in your own way, in your unique way to show up in the world by holding the space, not just for others, but also for yourself, by having compassion for yourself, by, forgiving yourself for maybe mistakes you've done or failures you've had or whatever it is. You can always come back to that space and realize that hurt people and happy people make people happy, as I always say. So what can you do today to make people happy? Well, you got to make yourself happy first. So what can you do to feel that peace, that joy, that happiness, that love? It's just tuning or turning inward and, going to the place where it's all already created. And then from there, you come back out and you create and help others to create their truth, their reality by showing up in a strong way. I personally believe building your own business is one way of you showing up in the world and really getting to your highest potential. Because by building your own business, by being empowered, by really making revenue, by making money, you can have so much more to give that you have not had before. So becoming an entrepreneur for me was such a life-changing decision. And, now I'm on that path where I make those decisions. And obviously with every decision, there are also consequences. But you are the one who makes the decisions. You are the one who decides, do you want a thriving business? Do you want to play small or do you want to play big? And what does it look like? And I would always encourage you, play big. You have that one life. What are you waiting for? Right? Hop on over to christineschlonski.com, find the podcast tab for the show notes, the transcripts, the resources. And also when you're over there, sign up for the empowerment notes. That's empowerment right into your inbox. That is where I will share stuff I usually do not share on social media, but it's also where you get amazing invitations or free resources that I feel that I want to share with you, or an invitation to the Heart Cells community, where you can actually be a member and join heart-centered business building in a wonderful, wonderful way. So hop on over to christineschlonski.com, find the podcast tab and make sure you sign up for the empowerment notes so we are connected and you get empowerment right into your inbox. And if you feel like you just want to write to me, or you want to ask a question, you want to make a comment, please do so by sending an email to info@christineschlonski.com. And I will read your emails and I will reply to you personally. So use that opportunity to connect. So I know that you are out there. I know who you are, what you're doing, and I can support you on your amazing journey. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day wherever you are in this beautiful world. And I'm saying bye for now.